Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? Okay, so I'm a little bit early. Let me get the lighting set here. Just gonna wait a few minutes to see if anyone wants to join while I get grounded. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, say hello in the live chat. So I am a little bit early today. Hey, Melissa. So we have Melissa here. Hi, it's Melissa from New Zealand. Hey, Melissa. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? So again, I'm a little bit early because I want to wrap this up a little bit earlier tonight. So I just set my timer for an hour. Tonight, I am offering free readings to all new subscribers. So if you're new here, whenever you join, please like this video, subscribe to support my channel, and drop your question in the live chat. So for my readings, I use a form of mental mediumship, which is a form of telepathy, where I communicate with spirits in the atmosphere, literally here or wherever you are. So I can give readings remotely. And I use my spirit team to help me with automatic writing. So sometimes you'll see me with a pen to the paper and I'm just taking notes or doodling or writing down symbols. I actually have a code that I use when I am giving readings. So certain areas on my paper, wherever my pen goes, it gives me a message as well, usually a timeline. So I do provide you with spirit identification, letting you know evidential mediumship with who I'm communicating with, as well as timeline. So I will need your first name and your question in the live chat. Let me just say hello. So we have Melissa says, hi, doing good, thanks. Sunbeam's Angel says, hi, good evening, hello. Hi, Sunbeam. Okay. So, so all new subscribers, I'm doing a free reading. So I will just need to know your question and your first name in the live chat. So I always start my lives off with a little bit of a collective message. And today, while we're waiting for everyone to join, get your questions in. I will go in order, whoever is here, first come, first serve. And this will be for new subscribers, free readings. And then if you have already been here, to the Jojo Empathic family, welcome back, and thank you so much for continuing with us. Tonight I am charging $10 for a 1 to 2 question reading. So if you've been here and maybe you want another reading with me, you've been working with me last month, I offered a lot of free readings, and you still want a reading tonight, I do have my payment processor in the description box, as well as CashApp and Venmo. So I just need your payment and your question with your first name in the live chat. And I will do $10 questions tonight for my existing Jojo Empathic family. So we said, good evening, everyone. Marijana, hey, how are you? And I'm new here. So we have, hi, Marijana. Because I know Melissa has been here, Marijana, Lori. I don't know if this is the Lori from the other weeks here, but Sunbeam, Angela. So yeah, so I'm going to start off with a little bit of a collective message. You can go ahead and start getting your questions in the live chat. I want to talk about the afterlife. Okay, so this is like a hot topic for me the past few weeks. It's like a hot topic for me all the time because I work with the other side. But lately I've just been thinking so much about heaven. I think it was triggered with a client that I have worked with for a long time, and she came to me for a pet healing. And so I started to offer pet healings virtually, which is something I've never offered. I've always offered readings on animals, never pet healings to this capacity. So you can actually order a pet healing right from jojoempathic.com. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. It looks like there's like a green dot right on my face here on my screen. Let me know if this is what you guys see too, if you can hear me okay and everything. There's better lighting, okay. And so you can order that right from jojoempathic.com. But when I was creating the image, I created it with my deceased dog in mind. So I used to have a small Chihuahua Yorkie named Peanut. You'll hear me talk about Peanut over my channel all the time. She was my baby, so cute and sweet. She went everywhere with me, and I am nomadic, so she traveled quite a bit with me. And she passed, transitioned last January, not last month, but the year prior in 2025. And whenever Peanut comes to visit me, and I've been working with Peanut on the other side the past few months as well with coordinating, connecting with other people and collaborations in this work. And Peanut just always, she guides and leaves signs and symbols and, speaks to my friends, which I love. And they rely back these messages to me from my loved one. And so we have, hi, I'm new. Hey, welcome. If you would like a free reading, I'm offering free readings tonight. I just need your first name in question and any first name of any like deceased loved one on the other side or person of interest. And I'm going to just do a quick collective message, and then I'm going to go in order for everyone's questions. So Peanut has just been bringing a lot of like insight from the other side to me. And I know there's a lot of questions about the other side. Now, I wish I had all the answers. I don't. I'll let you know how the afterlife is when I'm there. But from working with the other side, I will share with you some of the things I've seen that may actually help you to find a place of peace with, let's say, the grief of not only like a deceased pet or a loved one, a friend, a family member, somebody very important to you. There's a lot of myths out there. It's hard to understand what is the other side like. And I think that each and every one of us, it's our own relationship with spirit that leads to our perspective. And it's important that we all have our perspective of what we're seeing, feeling, or experiencing in terms of the spiritual realm or the other side. And we can never really know, you could say, until we are actually there, not in flesh, okay? And that's exactly how the other side works. It is a realm. It's a dimension that the human body doesn't necessarily go to. It's not a physical 3D place, okay? And when I'm working with the other side, what I find is that the light, which we may call heaven or know as like a place called heaven, it really is a place of like pure unconditional love. When our loved ones transition from death, we have an option of where we can go next with our soul, with our soul's evolution. The natural order is to go higher into the light. It's very rare that individuals don't choose to actually cross over into the light. If they don't, they're technically called earthbound souls at that point. It's not natural. It's not the natural order. It's the universe kind of, you lose the support of the universe. Like it doesn't really have your back anymore. You're on your own and you've kind of ignored the light. You've ignored the opportunity to give a life review, to learn, to forgive, to release the hatred, the resentment, and anger, and go into a higher place of unconditional love. And the soul usually chooses that regardless of what their avatar was in this third dimension. So you could have been like this horrible person, and that was your act. That was your part in this greater whole. You were that character once, but in another life, you were a saint. We have these different roles we take on in our lives, but when we do go into the light, there is healing. And it's really important that I share that message with whoever comes across it. I don't know if you're here now or you're going to watch later, but there is healing that happens in the light. There isn't pain and suffering there. And there's also, you're in a higher state of consciousness in terms of wisdom, in terms of understanding and knowledge. So our loved ones on the other side, like my dog Peanut, and maybe you've had an experience yourself, drop a comment, let me know your experiences with the other side, your loved ones, your angels, spirit guides, your higher mind, ancestors. They really do come back and sometimes we call it pennies from heaven or feathers from heaven. They give us little signs and symbols to help us stay on track with order, with peace, with love. They give us messages that are guiding, that help to keep us in alignment with soul's purpose from a higher place of understanding. This is natural order. I didn't make this up. It's like source, really, we are created. We have a creator that wanted us to not be alone in any capacity. We come here to be able to communicate with others, to have community with others, and that doesn't change even when a loved one passes away. So they do come back and help guide you. They give you healing. They give you protection as well. And so many people that have had near death experiences do claim this. Right before, there was the option to transition, they saw a loved one that helped protect them and say, keep going, keep living. You're not done here. There's more work to do. Our relationships are part of a higher order. And we choose to incarnate on earth with what we would call soulmates. It's Valentine's Day coming up soon here in February. Our soulmates are not just romantic. Our soulmates are also people like family members, friends. They can be, random people that you meet, just randomly in your life. But it's before you come into your meet suit, your human avatar, that you guys agree to meet up on divine timing for a specific purpose. It's on a soul level. And when you cross over in your life review, you'll see all of those points with your soulmate. Again, not all of them are romantic. Some of them are friends. Some of them are family. Some of them are teachers, are soulmates. So once we transition, there's more life. It's like there's life after death in another realm, in a higher dimension. And those contracts, which I would call soul agreements, or we call them soulmates, they still happen. They're still creating an order and purpose bigger than us. And we teach and learn and protect one another on soul level. So essentially, we have soulmates and we even have a soul tribe. And your soul tribe we're all from one source, essentially. It's like one ocean, and we're all just little pieces of the ocean flowing, little rivers. But your soul tribe is like a step closer than your soul mates. Your soul tribe are like the soulmates that you may consider the one. So these might be the people that you choose to have as a spouse or a long-term work partner, family members, mothers, fathers, your children. These are individuals that are known as your soul tribe. Now, a lot of times it's not blood related. Usually you have to go through a spiritual awakening to be aligned with your soul tribe. So after you awaken, you're at that resonance and frequency that brings you into congruency with your actual soul tribe. Okay. Now these members are, we're from the same soul, essentially. Okay. And when you reincarnate too, there can be multiple reincarnations at one time for one soul. So it's not a linear process, and we can't really think of the afterlife logically, although there is science that is studying the phenomena of the other side, near-death experiences. There's a lot of science that actually studies psychic mediums and our brains, our senses, and so we are becoming more aware of the invisible world. There was a quote from Nikola Tesla about, once science admits the invisible is when we really make progress, something along the lines. Don't quote me, you look it up. But it's so true, okay? It's so true. It's a quantum field. So that's one thing I wanted to share. Your loved ones on the other side, they still guide you, they still love you, and they're part of a higher order. I want to touch on this a little bit more because a lot of times we are asking our loved ones for guidance. We're asking our spirit team, our angels, for the answer, and we feel like we're not receiving the message. So there's a lot of things that could be happening. Number one, you probably are receiving the message. You just don't have discernment that the message is coming through this way. And this can be because you were never taught the language of spirit. So when you are asking these questions to the universe, your higher mind, your spirit team, loved ones on the other side, and you're saying, this really isn't working in this direction. I feel so stagnant. I can't quite figure it out. Spirit, show me what path is the correct path for me. What is the highest path for me? Because there's multiple paths you can take, not one not necessarily being the wrong path, but you can get off path. Let's be honest, you can veer off. So when you ask these questions to spirit, we in today's society want the instant gratification. We want spirit to write it out on a chalkboard or a whiteboard and say, go down here and do X, Y, and Z. I wish it was that simple, but you have to understand it's like we're literally students of life until the last day. That's a choice, but most of us do choose that path of I'm always here to learn. I'm here to always evolve. I can always get better. So we don't know everything in the exact moment. We do grow. So you have to understand that law when you are communicating with spirits in the light. It may not be an instant answer for you. It may not be meant for you to know in this moment. You may have to walk this walk or take that path for things to unfold in an order that is a lot bigger than you. And that's why you stay tuned to the still small voice, the intuitive voice, and you have faith and you stay grounded. And that is what you can be certain of, is that you are going forward in the direction of your highest good. And you kind of tune yourself to the law of, am I acting out of love or am I acting out of fear? Am I making choices out of love or am I making choices out of fear? And that'll never misguide you. And then you start to get the answer. So sometimes the answer can come through experience. Like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's how it works with spirit communication. Now, if you train your abilities and you actively develop this relationship of spirit communication with your guides, angels, loved ones on the other side, your higher mind, your energy bodies, you do begin to be able to pull instant messages. Now, there are a lot of myths from like old school spiritual practices where we have to meditate for a long time in order to hear an answer from spirit. I wasn't trained that way. I was trained in active spirituality where I go in and ask and I'm able to receive something. Something. Okay. And I think that that is important. That's another law I want to talk about is patience with the light, gratitude with the light. So when I've started to train students and see the higher vibration communicating back what's being asked, I've noticed a pattern that a lot of times when we receive that subtle, small voice from spirit, that symbol, the message, a lot of times students will just bypass it, ignore it, or just not even know that that's the light communicating back to them. So you do have to train in discernment. And so once we narrow it down and we say, well, you just saw a sailboat. Okay, I saw a boat too. We both are seeing a boat clairvoyantly. And if you didn't have any awareness or training that that's how spirit speaks to you, you'll miss that. You'll have see like a boat in your mind's eye, or you'll hear boat, or you'll feel the energy of being on a boat. And you won't realize that's how spirit is communicating to you. And so in that moment, you have to be patient. You have to be in gratitude in order to keep that flow going. So you communicate with the symbol. You ask the symbol, is this literal? Is it symbolic? What does this ship mean? What is the ship riding over? You get creative. What is the ocean representing? Usually consciousness to some degree, usually the subconscious or the unconscious. What are the waves like around the boat? What kind of boat is it? Now, when you train with me, our symbol bases are similar. Okay, that's by the that's the order, like divine order that I can't explain. But you also have your own symbol base. So with your soulmate, soul tribe, we have similar symbols. You yourself have your own symbols from past lives and this life. So in my book, So a sailboat is a symbol for soul tribe. Okay. To someone else that maybe has a different culture, religion, or symbol base, the boat might represent something different. Okay. And the boat can have many meanings on the spiritual side. So let's say we asked a question about a certain, soulmate. That's very common that we ask psychic mediums about soulmates. And we say, this person doesn't feel an alignment, but I feel very drawn to this person. It's a lot of chaos when we're together. Spirit, show me what I need to understand about this. And that sailboat comes through. And then also maybe you see a clock. So when we're wanting instant gratification, when we're not in gratitude, we might be, oh my gosh, sailboat clock, that means nothing. Oh my gosh, spirit's not speaking to me. I can't do this. We get angry. It blocks the flow. But if we really sit and be still and ask, what is the healing message behind this? Because that's what the light is coming through for. And you have to understand that. The light's coming through for healing. That has to be your law that you understand in your heart. And you work with that. So what is the healing? Why are you showing me this? Well, I see the clock and the sailboat. So that to me, let's just make this up here. Spirit could be saying, it's not the right time. This isn't soul tribe. Could also be timing's off. This is your soul tribe, but we need to wait a little bit of time. So it's different per person, it's different per situation, but the more awareness you have of how spirit speaks, the better you become at it. Okay. And you have to know the laws of the light in order to work with it, the patience, the gratitude, the love, the coming in with genuine an open heart to grow and evolve. That's how you're in the flow of the universe. When you're closed off, you're begging spirit, tell me, is he the one? Is he the one? Is he the one? Every day for months, you start to block the light. The light will pull back from you because you're not listening. You're not open. You're not receptive to what the truth is. That's your choice. And spirit can't take the test for us. Spirit can't just jump in and brush your teeth every day and make sure you're taking care of yourself and taking a shower. Spirit can't do that. It's not meant to be that way. That's why we are human. So the good teacher pulls back. The good teacher doesn't take the test for you and allows you to figure it out. There's a level of respect in spirit communication. We don't really see it in mainstream. When we look at the tarot card readers on YouTube and Instagram, and they're all over, you don't really see many talking about the respect that's needed for the communication in the first place. So you want to look out for that when you are either going to other people for the psychic mediumship advice or you're working with spirit yourself. You want to make sure that you're holding your space rooted in light and have boundaries, ethics in place. So that way you're accurate with your spirit communication with the light. Because I think that's another part of why we fear spirit communication is because of just that fear. And so one of the ways that we kind of nip that in the bud is boundary setting with the energetic realm. Okay. And if we don't know or have education that that can actually happen, we don't believe it exists. So before you go into your spirit communication, which by the way can happen throughout your day when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're shopping, and usually when you're in motion, going for a walk, working out, it's called motion meditation. That's when you're relaxed. I know for me, I love to go on road trips and drive, just drive. And for me, I receive a lot of downloads when I do that. It's motion meditation. It'll bring you into a relaxed state where you can actually receive from spirit and you'll start to get all of these impressions. So that's an important thing too as well. You can be on the go with speaking with spirit, but if you are struggling with fear of who you're actually speaking to, what you do is you set boundaries before you go into your spirit communication. So you would say something like, I surround myself, this is cliche and super easy, like spirituality of a white light bubble. Okay, so you can protect your space with a beautiful bubble of light around you, declaring that only the higher vibration may come through. You can set up a fortress in your mind of crystals. You can surround yourself in a garden of flowers. You can do a number of different things to grid the space to help you to establish that this is a higher vibration of love. Over here, this is, where we'll keep out any spirits that don't want to obey the laws of love. They can't come into my bubble. They can't come past my fortress. And once you set that in place and you keep practicing, you become more familiar with the energy that is subtle, guiding, and healing versus energy that is just lower vibrational and we don't need to really give awareness to. So I hope that answered any questions on the afterlife and spirit communication. I had to get that out. There's one more collective message, and I'll tune in here to some of your questions. Let's see what we have. So we have hearts and new subscriber, Sunbeam Angela. I'd love a message. I do feel changes coming around the corner. I'm single and very open-minded. Love this. So I'm going to write down, we're going to do Angela. So I just need first name and question. And then we have, wow, how interesting. Thank you. Let me know what part was interesting, Melissa, please. I know I was getting into a lot of content there. And then we have Debo, 3042. Hello. Hey, Debo. Can I ask a personal question? Just started a new job and feel I really made a bad decision accepting. Will I find another job soon? So Debo, just need your first name and I'll go ahead and do your question next. So yeah, I'm doing free readings for all new subscribers tonight. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it to anyone that may be interested. I give free readings every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central Timing, 7 p.m. Central on Thursdays. And I also have a radio show where I give free readings every fourth Wednesday of the month at newsforthesoul.com at noon Central. So you can call in and receive a free reading, okay? So we have Deborah for the second question here. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go in order. There was one other collective message, and we'll go ahead and dive into your questions tonight, guys. Let's see if I can go back to it. Oh, and by the way, I will be adding remote viewing as a specific service on my service page at jojoempathic.com. I'm really proud of something I found the other day. I found a passport. So happy remotely. And I say that, I want to explain. A lot of people will hire me to find lost jewelry. And I'll tell you, as a remote viewer, it's a lot easier to find a diamond across the world. I found diamonds in people's bedrooms all the way in Australia, and I'm here in Texas. Never met them in my life. It's easy because the diamond gives off a powerful frequency. Okay. And if you are interested in remote viewing, work with me. It's basically just clairvoyance. Okay. Anyone and everyone can do it. Sign up for my Journey with JoJo packages where I can teach you remote viewing. It's a lifesaver if you can do it. But to find paper in a home is so hard. If you think about how many pieces of paper you have, just like in a property or home, oh my gosh. So when I found a passport the other day, I was like, this is going down in my books. I'm so happy because people have asked me to find letters and I'm like, I'm feeling clutter over here, trying to describe what I'm seeing in their home. So I was really proud of that. So if you do have a lost object you need found, we can do it also. I can offer it on the free reading tonight here. I usually need about 3 minutes, sometimes 6. But you can go on my website, jojoempathic.com, and under services, choose a one question reading. And I usually can do it with that 3-minute time. So those readings, it's like ask 1 question, ask 2 question. What are my spiritual abilities? Ask 3 question, pet reading. All of those are email readings. So you submit your question via email or the chat box on my website. And I do a turnaround within 48 hours. Email it back to you as a voice memo. Really fun, quick answers, and really nice that you get to keep it, and you can always play it back. That was something, but I think I wanted to touch on reframing, and then I'll tap into the show here. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I like to give a collective message because this will be up on my channel for anyone to replay. So you can it's kind of like timeless messaging, but Spirit's talking about reframing. So this might speak to somebody that needs to hear this. If you are in a challenging situation where it's like you've tried things and you're just not flowing, try reframing the way you're talking about it. Try reframing the way you're thinking about your situation. Rewrite it. Get a piece of paper and pen down and just reframe the whole situation and see if that changes your perspective with what you're going through. See if it helps to create a shift in your reality once you change the way you're thinking and perceiving about a specific situation. So, using like psychic reframing of thought, and if you're able to grid that new frame or I want to say almost like your imagination, your vision, it actually does help you to manifest a lot quicker. So, reframing is a tool you can use at any time that you need to switch up the way that your story is in the moment, to switch up the way you're thinking about things, the way that you're perceiving things, and helping you to get a little bit more control of your reality. So, that was kind of like those are the collective messages that I received to share with everybody. So I just wanted to touch on that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get into the reading. So again, thank you for joining. Tonight I'm doing free readings for new subscribers. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, share to anyone that may want a reading or may find this content helpful and useful. Okay. I try to release a new video every week, and it is usually channeled. So tonight we're going to do Angela and Deborah, and then we have Aisha Rez. Hello, Aisha. I know that you've been here before and you've subscribed. Tonight I'm doing all new subscribers, but if you do want a question answered live, I am only charging $10 tonight for existing jojoempathic family here. Okay, thank you. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. So first is Angela. Thank you, Angela. So we have Angela. I'd love a love message. I do feel changes coming around the corner. I'm single and very open-minded. Okay, so what are the healing messages for Angela? So I'm tapping into your field a bit. I'm connecting with a joy guide. I feel like you work very closely with your guides. And they're showing me a sunflower. I love this for you. Whenever I see sunflower, this is my symbol for spirituality. It's also femininity. And it kind of reminds me of kind of plucking each petal from the sunflower and also plucking each seed. So what spirit is showing you is that there's a path, there's a development underway of your spirituality, and it's not just the petals, it's the seeds. It's like it's your appearance, it's the way you're carrying yourself, it's the way your vibration state is, but also the seed of what you're planting, so your intention. And so there's this total transformation of yourself that brings you into this resonance with a higher place in love. And so it's going into this other, now I'm going into a little bit of the future here for you. So that's kind of a present moment energy for you. Getting into that vibe of femininity and planting seeds and getting into resonance. And then going into the future for love. The month of March is really standing out to me for you. It looks like you're going on, now they're showing me a date, and it feels like this would be like a literal date. I do feel like I'm picking up a male, and you guys were going on some sort of ride. It doesn't feel like traditional. It feels like something like spiritual even. It kind of sounds, man, I want to freak you out, but like one of those like ghost tours or something, or like a spiritual ride either through a vineyard or something, but there's some sort of date that you go on, that it seems like it's a really peaceful interaction. So it does feel positive coming in for you. I think the biggest message, and there does feel like grandmother coming in, I want to say maternal side, maternal ancestry, just saying kind of just enjoy the ride also. And don't stay closed off to, it feels like your grandma's coming through, but she's almost saying like, don't be closed off to men, like almost in like sarcastic way of like, you might be saying like they're all just like it's hard to pick from the bunch type of thing, but it's open your heart to knowing that you can receive exactly what you really want. So thank you, Angela. Please let us know whenever I give the readings if it's resonating, if it speaks to you. And thank you so much. Okay, so I'll come back to you in March and let us know how that plays out for you. Okay. She says, I'm open to trying new things. Felt like some sort of tour you're going to go on with this person, like some sort of date on a ride and tour. Very interesting. Okay, and then we have Deborah. Just started a new job, Deborah. And I feel like I made a really bad decision accepting. Will I find another job soon? Deborah. Now there's a male that looks over you. I want to say paternal ancestry, father, grandfather. And he's showing me that you're just like, you're in a rush. Like, I'm just doing things very fast. I don't know if this is like you going into this job, you were trying to hurry, trying to get out of it. Could be also in your personal life, just going very fast, and you're missing marks because of the speed. And I think that right now, in the past 8 months it just feels like a hurricane, like so much going on, time just flying by. And now we're at this place of almost like standstill where you're just like, enough. I'm actually tired of chasing. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of all of this. And I just want to get to a higher place. So it does feel positive in that regard that you are having this awareness of like, I want to go where the shoe fits. And I'm tired of trying to make my foot fit, if that makes any sense to you. So I do feel there's a little bit of a journey here for you. It doesn't feel like a quick fix. It feels like I need to learn what I should have learned from the last position and the process of going between positions and really applying it. I'm noticing the same patterns over and over, and this time I need to do better and evolve. And yeah, I think this is grandfather. I keep saying, I feel this is grand. And there's a lot of love for you from the other side coming through as well, specifically about this situation. And I keep seeing like a watch, like a watch that he's showing me, because I just feel like I'm running out of time, but you do have time. I want to say next 2 to 3 months, there's a shift. In 5 months, you're settling in. So it does feel like we do kind of get the boots off the ground, but we're more along the lines of feeling peace with the new position 5 months down the road, if that makes any sense. And thank you, Deborah. And please let us know if that makes sense in any way. And I'll always come back and let us know how things play out if there's ever predictions like that. So just to kind of wrap up that message, look at these patterns that have been playing out and be sure to actually put those lessons to the test. Because if we don't have to get those lessons complete, we'll have to keep redoing them. And it's like a mindset shift, because it's like this, we do the same thing, expect different reality. That's how we have insanity. There's a quote, something along the lines of that, if you guys get my drift on that. But so that's what you're here right now to accomplish in this. I have a dad and grandfather in spirit. Oh, they're very strongly looking out for you and very near. Yes, I did accept this very quickly. This place is very toxic. Thank you so much. You're so welcome, Deborah. Visualize, visualize, visualize. Don't get caught up in the past. Cut cords. Sign off of a contract on your paper. Do a ceremony, and the universe will take care of the rest. Okay, so from your heart, you just set that intention. You want better out of this toxicity. The universe does support that. So you're blessed. You will be blessed. And thank you so much, Deborah. Okay. So any other new subscribers here that would like a reading, please let me know in the live chat. I need like, subscribe, first name, and your question in the live chat. So we have Sunbeam Angela, thank you, resonates with me. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. So we have good day from Australia. XX, may I get a reading? Yes, you can. So that's Mish Shelley. So just a few things if you're new here. Sometimes I get burpy when I channel. I do drink water a lot too. Sometimes I get a little burpy. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do Michelle. Okay. And Aisha Rez, just remind me, you've been here before, right? You've been in here with us. Happy that you're here. Just want to confirm and make sure because you do feel familiar. So we have Michelle. Michelle, where am I headed? This is just a general reading, or was there a specific area of your life? Work. Okay. Okay. Where is Michelle headed with work? Michelle. Okay, so Michelle, when I begin to connect with your energy and your work and money guide here, they're showing me kind of like you in the beginning stages of it feels like something new. Um, that I'm kind of just now getting started. I feel like this is you're going in like a new direction. You may have kind of had this intention a while ago, but now it's starting to finally have some momentum. But it does feel like right now filing things like along the lines of legal paperwork, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, making sure everything with like regulations and taxes and all of that is taken care of. And then we kind of move on to this other thing for you. So it does feel right now really tedious, like I'm in the development of something. So you could be creating a business, like filing to start a business, or it feels like systemic right now. It's not very fun because it's a lot of like that legal order stuff. But it does pay out. I think right now the biggest thing for you to focus on is independence with your foundations. You know, sometimes we need like a huge team, and right now I think it's a big time for you to be introspective versus having a lot of other perspective or people on the team. It's your introspection that leads to the foundation of this new beginning with work. Now they show me pots and pans, so I'd be curious if you have something to do with like cooking or baking, or if this is just a hobby. But sometimes pots and pans can also mean chaos. If you think of like, sometimes I get the imagery of like a child banging pots and pans, you know, it's like metal clinking back and forth. And so it does feel like there is that. aspect to it. I'd be curious to hear how that applies to you. What about the pots and pans? Okay, the chaos part. Okay. So yeah, when like a child's banging on the pots and pans and throwing stuff like that, that's how I was kind of getting it. So we don't really we want to figure out kind of like if the first part's making sense, if there's unfinished business with like legal. Once you do that, then we can kind of move forward. And once you clear all of this chaos, then you finally have your foundation. So there's some steps underway. I don't know. You may want to book a life contract reading with me. If you don't know your life contract, it sometimes we can feel off purpose, and so we look into your life, the symbols of what you're supposed to be doing in this life, your soul's purpose, your numerology, and that divine timing, so we can kind of get on track with feeling a sense of fulfillment. So right now, it does feel like I need to really start to I need to clear the way and like get very clear with what I want to do. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. So let me know how that resonates. So she says, interesting. I feel a bit of chaos. I do cook every night, LOL. You might get impressions during that. If you were here earlier, I was talking about like when I go drive for long distance, I get impressions. It's called motion meditation. It's when you're relaxed. That might be how spirit speaks to you. Thank you so much. And we have Maria Scorpio. Hey, Maria. So tonight I'm doing a free show for new subscribes. And if you've been here, part of the family, I'm only charging $10 tonight for a reading. So let me know if you would like to move forward with that. I know that you've been part of the Jojo Empathic subscribers. Glad you're here. Friend of mine has started a new business, was thinking maybe I can wash their dishes. Are you serious? Is that serious? Like it's a restaurant business or something? Or so that's literal for you? Wow. Okay. Spirit speaks. That might be the step to the next step to the next step. Interesting. It's a possibility. Thank you so much for sharing. So cool. So yeah, if you guys like, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. So if you guys like my reading style or want to book like a private reading, I do meet with you. I can do in person if you're local, or over Zoom, WhatsApp, over the phone. Regardless of where you are in the world. Oh, this cute little rainbow and a thing. Thank you. Regardless of where you are in the world, we can meet. And I also accommodate with time zones too. So, don't let it, if you don't see availability on my booking, reach out to me over email. I'll put my email in here, jojo@jojoempathic.com. My business is shifting to spiritual development this year in 2026. So I put it out to the universe and I had a very serious conversation with spirit. It is time that we have this power in our hands. So if you've been drawn to my channel, you're an independent leader, period. That's the resonance that you're at. And to really support you in whatever it is you do, through spiritual sovereignty, that's where I come in to help connect you with your language so you can guide yourself, so you can heal yourself, so you can communicate with your spirit guides and angels, your loved ones on the other side yourself. So that's your birthright. So please consider my spiritual development sessions. I offer a 3-session package, 6-session package, or for my healers out there, a 12-session package where I load in actual courses like my Reiki course and quantum healer medical intuitive course, as well as my spiritual clearing masterclass. It's all included in the 12-session package. Join me, and once you go through the certification, I actually offer you an opportunity to work at my ES Center with me. So you're joining a community. All right. So we have Maria Scorpio. Will there be free readings for old members other times? So I'm going to this show. I just felt really called to do for new subscribers. I feel so bad on Tuesday. I did not put it on my calendar to do my show, and I forgot. I'm like, oh my goodness, because at the beginning of January, I put all of the YouTube shows on my calendar, and I stuck to it. And then February came, and I didn't stick to that. I should have, and I forgot. So tonight I was just kind of looking for a switch up with giving readings because I noticed the past few, it's just been kind of a lot of the same people, same questions, and I just wanted to kind of make sure we're keeping some rhythm, some movement in these shows. So I was just offering free readings to new subscribers, new friends tonight. Um, to see if we resonate and want to work together, and it's always free, so you don't ever have to really give back to me. You don't really have to. So but I am looking for individuals that are ready to study intuition, um, and maybe get into the healing arts. So free shows for members, I'm staying open to it, but tonight I just felt called to kind of get some fresh air and fresh movement going in these shows. Let's see. I'll see if anyone else wants to join. I think this was a good show today because I met some new people. We had 3 new readings. See, that was nice. I like to switch it up because all last month it was a lot of the same questions. Not that I don't love answering, but we gotta sometimes keep things moving. Sunbeam, Angela, you rock. Thank you. Let me see if I can come up with a final message here. To see if there's anyone else that wants to join. So what did I talk about today? The afterlife. And I always go back and retitle what each show is on. So we talked about the afterlife, reframing, and spirit communication. It's all so important to understand. And remote viewing too, I talked about. So I have something else I can conclude and talk about the times in astrology. So Sunbeam Angela says, grateful for every new beginning. Cheers to gratitude together. Cheers. I so second that. Absolutely. Every new beginning. So that's exactly what I want to talk about right now is the times. It's with the skies we're under, so we technically feel the new year come March. We're going right now, things are still lingering. So if you're I still feel a little bit stuck here. It feels like things aren't wrapped up yet. Things are concluding. If you notice, what we're seeing on the news, not to bring it up and be negative, okay? We're seeing a lot of people that have done corruption be exposed. We can't even ignore it. And this is essential to where we're headed, because what we're becoming aware of is that a lot of the leaders that have been leading all of us, small percent of people leading a mass, have really rooted and grounded themselves in corruption. And we feel it on the individual level, and we're the ones that get affected by it. So we have to let the universe kind of do its thing right now. We have to let the universe, it, we have to let time happen to expose what's been going down so that we can shift higher. So although it feels heavy still and like uncertain and like things are still a bit stagnant, give it a few more weeks here. We're going to start to feel more of a positive shift this month in February, but come mid-February into March, the ball will start to move a bit more in the areas of our lives that we are trying to do with new beginnings. Now, with the Uranus cycle ending, so basically the things that you had started back in 2018, those cycles are coming to an end now. As of like this week, next week energy, you will see those doors that you opened in 2018 begin to finally close. The story's ending, final chapter. So and that's depending on your sign, like what area of your life that may have been in. So that could have been like a lot of struggles with home life, a lot of struggles with relationships, a lot of different money issues, a lot of different, self-development things that you weren't really sure of. All of those things that you had started in 2018, it should be clearing the air. So things are going to clear. Okay. So hang in there. Hang in there. That's what I was telling myself today. I'm like, the universe is just doing its thing. The universe is just doing its thing, and I'm doing my thing. And when the right time happens, I'm going to be ready. That's what we can do. So stay ready, stay open, and know the universe has your back. Work in alignment with love. Work in alignment with service. Work in alignment with the higher power, and know that you're not alone. Your loved ones on the other side are doing well and happy, okay? They're in pure bliss. They still love you. They still guide you, and spirit communication is your core. It's your core light's language, okay? So I hope this was a really good show and spoke to someone. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next Tuesday. And my video should come out this week. That should be beneficial for you guys too. All right, guys, let me hear your thoughts afterwards in the comments. Bye.